Alrighty, welcome to another episode of Who's Got Next Game. I am one of your co-hosts, as always, Connolly, with one of my good friends, Tyler Belcher. And you might have noticed, but we have a special guest today. Charles unfortunately couldn't make it, but we've actually been with him before, and now he decided to join us. Why don't you introduce yourself, Leigh?
Hey guys, thank you so much for inviting me. It was a pleasure to have you guys when you came on my show. So I was 100% down to come on yours, and I was so excited all week to be here.
Yeah, Leigh, we're excited to have you back, man. It was fun the first time we recorded together, talking about all the different like movies that we were gonna do for video games and talking about, all the properties and all that good stuff. And we were so excited. We were like, oh man, we got to get Leigh on an episode. And so we looked through all of our episode stuff. We were filing through. I'm like, man, what stuff could Leigh talk about? And I was like, I know. I got the perfect episode for him. And we're talking Lego video games.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking.
Before we get to that, though, Leigh, some people might not have seen us on your channel. Why don't you talk about your channel, its name, how it started, and what your kind of content is before we get into the Lego video games?
My page is called Lights Camera Rant. We talk about movies, TV shows, and video games all across the board. It kind of all started during COVID. We're like, well, couldn't go anywhere, couldn't drive anywhere. All I could do was drink and watch movies. So I thought, well, perfect time to start a podcast. And since from recording in my garage with a $50 mic, now we're up to nearly 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. We go live every Sunday. New episodes come every Tuesday. And I actually can't know if I've told you guys, but you guys on my Spotify, episode is about I think it's the fourth highest episode of a viewed, listened episode I've ever had.
Fourth,
we'll
top take
5.
It. Hey,
we're top 5.
We'll absolutely take it.
We'll take that.
And hopefully, after you're on here, maybe a couple people who don't know you subscribe and get you to that 1K, because if people don't know, that's when you start getting monetization. That's when a lot of doors start to open for you. So we're rooting for you, Leigh. I've been seeing some of your coverage, especially with Ahsoka. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and that series has been so great recently. Mm-hmm. So speaking of Star Wars, I mean, we're talking about Lego games today, and I think, when we think of Lego games, I think the epitome of Lego games was back in 2007 with Lego Star Wars, right? Or 2005.
It would have been, yeah. So 2005 is when Lego Star Wars officially released. And Leigh, like, your first experience was Lego Star Wars, the video game. That was your very first Lego game. So kind of talk through that first, like, that reminiscing of, like, the excitement behind getting the game and kind of the memories you have with it.
Well, I remember, and this is going to show my age. Back in the day, when you used to go to a video store or to a Blockbuster, go to rent a game.
Yeah.
I remember, like, there was always new games on a Friday or Thursday. I still remember the cover, and I thought, okay, how's Lego going to work with Star Wars? And that first game was so much fun. There's nothing like force choking someone and it turns into a bunch of blocks.
Yeah.
Because I think we all did that.
Guilty.
Yeah, straight away. And obviously, you always just pick the red lightsaber straight away.
Mm-hmm.
The customization you could do at that time, and it was just a lot of fun. It was just a spin, and that began my love for the Lego Star Wars game. And the sequel, contains so much more in it. Mm-hmm. You could do a lot more, which then I'm pretty sure that kicked off everything. Yeah. There is not any major franchise right now that does not have a Lego version or a Lego TV special.
That is true. It's really, like, I'm trying to think of some that don't, and it's really hard. I don't know if I can think of anything, but no, like, Lego has literally overtaken all media, like all types of media and stuff as well. Like, every media property you can think of has some form of a Lego thing. Especially, I think there's like a series now called Lego Creators, and it has like The Office and like Schitt's Creek, and like shows where they do like a scene that you can build out, which I think is a spectacular idea.
Yeah. The Lego franchise, just as a whole, not video games. So if we're just talking Lego wise, I mean, they've really started to partner with companies and maybe cater rather than just kids to the kids at heart. And those kids at heart start to grow up and they start to make money and they realize, oh, we can actually profit off of them as well, and they're willing to spend $300 on a new Venator that just dropped recently.
Even people have become, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but people have become like famous for just their obsession of Lego and what they buy and what they do, and then they get invited to places, everything. Their whole thing is Lego.
Yeah, and like they're Lego streamers, which is crazy to me. Like there are people who are they stream themselves building Lego and they get thousands of viewers. And
I'm pretty pissed that's not me. I'm pretty pissed because I had a lot of Legos as a kid and even up until teens. I had to get rid of them when I moved out, but I'm pretty pissed.
I mean, like it just creates more opportunity for people who do the streaming for that, because there's a show that my wife and I watch together. It's called Lego Masters, and it's basically a competition show for people to build these like amazing creative builds using like the engineering profile pieces and like all that type of stuff, just showing like how creative you can get with Lego. And like some of the stuff, I don't know if it's still there now, but some of the stuff you can actually go see at Legoland. Like you can see those people on the show and their creations, which is super cool. And like, I think it's still going to continue on because I think Lego is a universally loved, like we were saying, throughout all the ages.
Oh, 100%.
Definitely. Leigh, have you ever been to a Legoland, or is there one in, Australia, or no?
No, unfortunately, we don't have a Disneyland. We don't have a Legoland. We don't have a Universal.
Oh,
but you guys have a lot of land.
We have a lot of land.
Just build it somewhere in the desert.
Just start putting down Legos, Leigh. You can start building your own Legoland out there.
Yeah, people come. If you build it, they will come. And probably one thing as well, even though it's not a Lego game, I thought I had this morning as well as even Minecraft.
Oh yeah,
90% of everyone who plays that game would have to be a Lego fan. Like, stem from that.
Well, just the whole creating, like all I would do in whenever I would play Minecraft is make houses or things like that, and that's what I would do with my Legos. I would build ships because I had mostly Lego Star Wars, so I would always build ships. And if I had a something from somewhere else, I would break it apart or make it so then it would be a spaceship for the Republic or Separatist Army, whichever I decided.
Good choice.
I was the cool kid after like becoming a teenager. Like I had the Lego sets for like Star Wars, and I think I had some like medieval castle set or something like that.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, but I was the cool teenager right when Bionicle came out.
Yeah, Bionicles.
And I was literally that was a thing. That was Lego.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm cool enough for Bionicle.
Yeah.
And so I had a few of them. And then I stopped, buying Bionicles when they started looking like chickens, because their last set was literally just looked like a headless chicken. So
that was like 10, 11 years ago too. I don't think they've released
Connor,
Bionicles
stop making us feel
like,
old.
I know, but you guys talk. I'll see when the last Bionicle set was released. You guys keep going.
No, but I just remember that like I was right at that age where Bionicle was like the mature Lego, and everybody was like, "Oh yeah, it's the cool one." And there was like a TV show that went off on it and all this stuff. Yeah, it was a whole thing, and so I remember just getting super into it. I liked the red guy. I don't remember his name, but he was like the main character. But I liked him. I liked him, and then there was the black Bionicle because he had like a buzzsaw or something that I thought was really cool.
I think I had the red one. I had the white one. There's like a white, blue, like frost.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it had a frost like a shield, I think.
Yeah.
Sort of deal. Yeah. My brother and I had a bunch of them, and I just looked at the run. The main run that we're talking about was 2001 to 2010. So it's been a good solid 13 years since Bionicles were like
Bionicle the remaster.
Yeah,
there's been a couple. I was looking at the Wikipedia page, and it looks like they kind of try to reboot it a couple times, but I don't think they'll ever capture the magic that they had in the early aughts.
You never know these days.
nah,
We'll see.
nah. But I agree with you. It was like you got Lego. I was like, oh nah, you got Bionicle. Even the names sound a lot cooler
Yeah.
than
Yeah,
Lego.
definitely, because they were more like action figures. I
Yeah.
would classify them as they're buildable action figures.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of what I liked about it was like I kind of just had them in my room like on remember the way I had my room set up was like my dresser was the first thing I saw when I walked into the room cuz it was on the back wall, and I would set up like all my favorite action figures or toys I had at that time. And so I'd swap them out. And so I remember having like the Bionicles were up there for years before I got rid of them. But I remember I would like change their poses and like do all that stuff, make it look like they're fighting each other, like all that kind of stuff. It was super cool.
Yeah.
But going back to Lego video games though, so Leigh, you had the original Lego Star Wars game. What did you have it on?
PlayStation.
Okay,
PlayStation
you had
2.
it on PlayStation. I had it on original Xbox.
The
Really?
brick.
I had it on the brick. Yes, I did. I had it on the brick. And I just remember being so stoked to play as R2D2. That was the main reason
Yeah.
I liked playing Lego Star Wars. I would play it with my friends. I'm being R2D2 because I didn't have to fight anybody. I just go run around and let them work on everything, and I just go and unlock doors and stuff.
Well, and you could fly too, right?
Yeah, he had like a little
That's R2?
hover. It was like a mini
You had a
hover.
little hover for a few.
But I would
Two
just
buttons.
I just remembered like I would love jumping off the ledge because the R2D2 scream is just so iconic.
There you go. We don't even have to ask for a sound for Frank. We could. I just say it and I'll do it.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate
10 out of
it.
10 out of 10, Connor.
Thank you, Leigh. What was your rating for it?
10 out of 10. That was
Hell
really
yeah.
good.
Thank
Star
you,
Wars,
buddy.
hire
Appreciate it.
Star Wars. You can hire Connor Leigh for the voice of R2D2.
Oh, absolutely. I could do a couple
Done.
voices for them.
Yeah, give a couple beeps, Connor.
Whoop, whoop. I could do that one.
Yeah,
I
see?
could do that one. That's all. I really did.
what emotion from R2D2?
No,
Yeah.
because that's his like little sad one. Was like whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man,
That's all I got though. That's all I got.
Yeah, so I just remember going to the store. I think I went. Where did I go? I think I went to a game during the time. I think was GameStop was the closest thing to me, but we also had a Blockbuster. It was weird because we had a GameStop and a Blockbuster within like a mile of each other, and so we would rent from Blockbuster. But if we liked the game, we would just go a mile up the road and buy it from GameStop.
Yeah.
And so I remember we bought that game because I was super into Star Wars at the time, and I remember just sitting down. And I looked at the cover. I loved the cover art, reading the back. I remember reading through the entire manual. And to me, like the game, I think what's unique about Lego games, especially during that time, they were able to portray emotion without words.
Yeah. That's
Like
that's
you
something
could
that,
feel the scene because you didn't have to know what was going on. If you watched the movies, it was a benefit. But you could kind of piece together what was pieced together, but you kind of figure out what was going on.
Ah, and you could, and you didn't need to know anything. Like anyone could have just picked up, and you'd still understand what they were saying. And it was more comedic too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I
there's
was
definitely a
just
lot more
about to
humor.
say. That they definitely relied on like physical humor and stuff like that in the games. Like I think like I don't know why I'm remembering the scene, but like they would like pull up like I think Obi-Wan pulled up in the original Star Wars game, pulled up a photo of like Anakin and Padme, but pregnant, and was like pointing at it.
That's right.
I think like I don't really. I'm trying to remember it because it's been so long since I played it. But well, yeah, just shit like that was really funny, and like I think made it so endearing and so different than any other property at the time.
No, Star Wars is a safe bet to start making those games, wasn't it?
Exactly. I think it was, and especially because the original Lego Star Wars was the first 3 movies, and it came on the back of Revenge of the Sith being released in 2005. They were both released in 2005, which is
That's right.
pretty smart of them, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So Lee, you being a PlayStation 2 guy, did you have Lego Racers? Did you have that game?
I I didn't have that game, but I remember borrowing and playing that over a weekend. So that was
Okay.
cool.
Yeah.
And you could build your car, and
Mm-hmm.
actually there was a new one that only came up a couple of months ago too, wasn't there?
I can't think of it off. Maybe I can't think of it, but I remember playing Lego Racers, the second game. I remember playing it on PlayStation 2, like going to a friend's house, and I like kind of the cool like build your own cart feature, and you can actually
Yeah.
like build your own character. And it was to me like wasn't an amazing racing game by any means, but it was
Nah,
Lego. It was fun. It was just something different. So and a lot of
actually.
like I think at least for me, a lot of the Lego games that I know are properties that are like movies or TV
Mm.
Yeah.
shows that are video games versus Lego actually making their own games. Because you have like Lego Undercover, you
Yeah.
have what's the name of that Lego Universe game where they have like all the
Uh,
properties. I can't think
Island
of it
of
offhand.
something, I think.
Yeah.
time.
And the one that I
Yeah.
can, yeah, the one, oh yeah, you're right. It's the Lego 2K Drive. That's the one that's the newest
Oh,
racing game.
Yeah.
So I haven't had a chance to play because they just released it. So pretty
It's
recently,
not
but
bad.
yeah. Yeah. What do you think of it?
Yeah. Yeah, it was bad.
Hmm.
It's pretty basic, but you know, you can build the car, and then when you go into like land and or water and air, it changes into an airplane, changes
Oh,
into
okay, that's cool.
a boat. So that was pretty cool. But yeah,
Hmm.
it's pretty basic racing game.
Hmm. The only other one that I can think of that's more modern release was Lego Brawl, which is basically the platform fighter Lego game. Came out
Oh.
came out in 2019. It was originally on Mac OS. It was like Apple arcade game, but they ported it to Nintendo Switch, PS5, Xbox One,
Oh.
all that stuff. Not a great game, but not a bad game. It kind of just like sits in the middle. Like it could be a lot more, but I think they kind of just took the bare bones of the game and just gave it a little bit more, a little bit of coat of paint and sold it up. But
Yeah, that'd be fine.
yeah.
I'll
So
do it.
going from Lego Star Wars, kind of going in order here. I mean, when they released the complete saga, I mean, that was when both games were just combined into one. That's when you sit and just play for like 8 hours straight.
yeah, definitely. I mean, and I think they had like 8 or so levels too per movie. So 8
Hmm.
times 6, I think you had like 48 levels or so, and all of them were pretty
Mhm.
long too. They weren't
Yeah.
like short little missions. They were pretty long. I need to look that up.
No,
Mhm.
and like they had like 20 characters.
Yeah.
So it was double than what the
Yeah.
first one was.
Oh yeah, I think I had probably, I'm gonna ballpark it at like 400 characters maybe that you could
Yeah.
unlock. I'm
Wow.
pretty
And
sure.
their skins too.
Yeah, and it
All
doesn't
right.
That
tell me.
was it was
Um,
funny. It says Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga.
Yeah, well, until I think the newest one was released last year with all 9 movies.
yeah, the
Yeah, all
Skywalker
night.
saga.
Yep.
Jeez,
Yep.
that's crazy.
Which
Interest.
also
Go
include,
ahead.
I think, characters from Clone Wars, Rebels, The Mandalorian,
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Ahsoka. Like there was so many.
There was a lot for sure. And I was wrong about 400. There was 125 characters in total, which is still
Wow.
quite a
Yeah.
lot.
That's a big
Mm.
roster. That's a big roster of characters.
Well, because some of them were like silly ones, like Lobot or like Ugnaughts, I think were one.
Mm.
There was so many different characters that you could get to, but the ultimate one
Random.
that costs a lot was Darth Sidious. That one
Yeah.
costs
That
quite a
was.
lot.
I remember that. Having to
I think
buy
it was
the
like
characters.
I think it
Unless
was
you were
like
that guy
4
who did the
million.
cheat codes and you'd
I
put in
was
all the
never that
codes.
guy. That could not have been me.
1,000% was. I just wanted
Come
the
on.
characters. I
Same.
wanted to see what they did.
Yeah.
I was the guy. I was
I-
the guy at the book fair who bought the cheat code books. So I paid my price. I should be able to do what I want to.
And you have them all written down, every single one on a piece of paper.
No, my handwriting wasn't that good. So I really had to keep track of the book. But interesting fact about the complete saga, the 100% speed run for that game, like getting every collectible item, unlocking every character, just under 9 hours.
Still a long
God,
time.
God damn.
Also,
That's crazy.
getting every single, that's so
Everything.
much
Everything.
studs.
hmm
I'm trying to think of like how that's ridiculous.
The solo speed run, this is on PC, by the way, but the solo speed run for you to just get to the credits, 2 hours and 22 minutes.
I thought it was going to be a lot less. That's still like quite a bit of time.
Still 4 hours just collecting. And collecting.
Mm-hmm. Thought I'd throw that little interesting fact in there. I like looking up, at least for Lego games, I find them interesting with the speed runs because it's like, I don't remember there being a lot of like walking through walls or anything like that, but
Well, no glitches.
yeah, you find them. But I think a very underrated game is Lego Indiana Jones.
I was just about to mention that one. Ty, look at us.
Does not get enough love. Did not get enough love.
It was fun though. I really enjoyed the original adventures. That one's so much fun.
I played it on the Wii.
Yeah,
so I had motion controls.
Yeah, and you got to whip it. That's what I liked. Yeah, you got to
So you threw it through the TV and then your mom got mad at you. But
well, if you had slippery hands, but if you were smart and used the wrist strap like a good boy, then
didn't you say in one of the episodes you didn't wear the wrist strap?
Listen, I'll contradict myself. I don't care. I don't give a fuck.
You literally, I think there was one episode you're like, wearing the wrist strap is for chumps. Like,
listen,
you said I think it was Wii Sports or something.
I'll contradict myself if I want to.
Oh man.
And the born of the Wii injuries.
Mm-hmm. Man, those days of physical injury because of video games. Those are bygone days now. But you got like other properties. We got Lego Batman. We have Lego Harry Potter.
That was good.
Mm-hmm. Lego. What am I thinking of? Lego Harry Potter.
Mm-hmm.
The Lego Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, Pirates too.
Yeah, Pirates of the Caribbean. Another very underrated game, actually. At least for my take.
I never really played that one. That was a little bit past. I didn't have that one.
That was one of the last really Lego games that I got into, and at least got to the credits.
For me, it was the Harry Potter. That's the one that's where I stopped playing the Lego games altogether, was Harry Potter.
Didn't they split them like year 1 to 4? And then
5 to 7.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 1 to 4 was 2010, and then 1 year later they released 5 to 7.
Why would they do that?
Surely that would be true.
I know it's money, but I mean, I'm looking right now at our handy dandy list, and it doesn't look like they ever put them together. Wow. I only played 1 to 4.
Dude, they released it from the PlayStation 3 all the way up to Xbox One.
Which one?
For Lego Harry Potter's year 1 through 4.
Sorry, I'm looking at it right now. Why would they do that?
Money.
But like Xbox One,
money.
I know that, but like Xbox One, like that came out 3 years or 2 or 3 years after the first one.
All right, Leigh, Mr. Movie Man, I gotta ask you, what do we think of the Lego Movie?
Loved it. The first one, I loved it. Everything is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, agreed. That first
such a
movie
catchy
is so
song.
good.
Yeah, and I remember thinking when it first got announced, I was like, how the hell are you going to make a movie, a good one, about Legos? How are they gonna, and they nailed it.
Yeah, they nailed it. They did it right. And I like that they included like a real world aspect. I really like the creativity in it too. And like how the characters really feel like a kid's, creation. I really like that.
And Will Ferrell being the villain.
Mm-hmm. Just like Barbie.
Yeah.
Just like Barbie. He kind of played the same person. He played Mr. Business. And
I think it was Mr. Business.
And then I haven't seen the Barbie movie yet. I need to, but I think I forget his name. I think it's something like Mr. Executive or something.
Yeah, it is.
It is?
Yep.
It's something along those lines.
I think it's Mr. Executive.
If it is, then I had it called Mattel CEO. That's his name. Whoops. Yeah. It's close enough. Mr. Executive is fine.
Yeah. But his role in the Lego movie, he knew the assignment. He
Mhm.
Yeah,
knew it,
definitely.
and he nailed it.
Dude, Will Ferrell's a little kid. What are we talking about? Like, he is a little kid.
Yeah.
At heart, yeah.
Yep. But they made the Lego Movie video game, which again I haven't played it, but I've seen playthroughs, and it's pretty much homage to the movie itself. So
Yeah.
I'd figure so. I
Mhm.
figured the
Yeah.
Lego company as a whole wouldn't, mess up the movie in Lego form. They haven't done too bad with any other properties, at least
No.
as far as I know.
then you got the Lego Batman series, which got into like 3 games, I think, or 4 games. No, 3 games of just Lego
3 games.
Batman.
3 games and a spin-off.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because of how popular that got.
How did we feel about Lego Batman?
I thought it was good. I only played the first one when that first one came out, but I
was gonna say I played the first and the second one. And I feel the same way. It's a good game. It's not high tier for me, but it's definitely up there. Connor, did you play Lego Batman at all?
No, that one I did not, unfortunately.
Okay.
Well, you're
What
not a
about,
real Lego fan then.
No,
Marvel one?
I'm a Lego fan, but I just didn't play that one. I only really liked Star Wars. I got to be honest. I did play Indiana Jones and Harry Potter, but I don't know, just something about Star Wars. I just want to be in the Star Wars world. Like I just got a lightsaber tattoo. Like that's just me though.
Nice.
Yeah, I got it right there. So
Nice.
Hey, we all know what we want to ride the most in Star Wars.
yeah, it's the what's it called? The Jedi. I want a Jedi Starfighter. That's what I want.
I want the little motorcycle thing from when the clones were riding on it, chasing what's his name? The little brown motorcycle with the lasers on the front.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you're talking about just a speeder?
Yeah,
Just
that's what I want.
And I'm sorry, were you talking about chasing Ewoks?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, so you mean stormtroopers? You fucking lame-o. Come on, they're not clones.
You're uncultured.
Yeah, come on.
Listen, I've been out of the game for a little while.
I was about to say you aren't enough of a nerd, dude.
I mean, I wasn't the biggest nerd of Star Wars. Just my brain was not finding it. Went through the file cabinet and there was a blank piece of paper on that one.
It's okay. It's all good, dude. Don't worry.
But then we got different properties. So we had The Hobbit, Jurassic World.
Never played that one.
Yeah, again, those are a little bit after, I would say, because 2014, 2015.
Yeah, by
that's
that
when those
time,
ones released.
We're in high school and college by that point.
Yeah, we were playing with Bionicle.
Again, Bionicles were released before that, dude.
I'm just kidding. No, but the one that I was thinking of was Lego Dimensions.
That's
it. When you were talking, that's the one I was thinking
Lego
of. I remember
Dimensions.
seeing things being promotions for it, but
that blew up.
That one came out on the Wii U, and we know that was successful.
Oh, 100%.
Yep.
What about Lego Avengers?
Oh yeah, I just saw that one.
That I played all the way through, and I loved it.
Did you 100% it or just go to credits?
Just go to credits.
Okay.
What was the main? What did it?
Yeah. What was the storyline?
It just followed the first Avengers film, but it had every other character in it. So it had Blade, Deadpool, and you could do through the whole story with them in it as well. So everyone who wasn't in that movie, they still had it, and you could play as so many different characters. And you had Doctor Strange, you had him come out.
Lego Doctor Strange would be so cool.
Just came out that same year. So that was, I was so excited when that one. I was like, done, mine.
Yeah. I'm just kind of looking through the rest of these. I mean, we got, was it Marvel Superheroes 2? We got The Incredibles, which came out in 2018.
I don't remember that one.
That one.
That's a newer one.
I mean, that one I didn't even know that was a thing. Like, why only that? I mean, it would make sense for a Pixar, if a Pixar property to be that one, just because, it's more action packed. But what would they do besides, Incredibles? What would you guys pick for a Pixar movie?
I would do Epic Mickey in Lego form.
Okay, but that's not okay. Ty, Pixar.
I'm just saying.
Dude.
I'm just saying that's fun, what I would pick.
But that's already a video game. That'd be
Toy Story.
Toy Story. That'd be really good. I feel like that'd be a good one. Yeah, I'm
Those are
trying to
good.
think if there'd be any other one that'd be just as good as that.
Cars would be too on the nose for the races.
I'm trying to think. What's another good Pixar movie that would be good for that? Maybe like Up. Up might be good.
Yeah, a whole world of
Yeah.
Lego.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Or I'm trying to think of one more that'd be good. Maybe like A Bug's Life.
yeah. God, I remember the original Bugs Life game on PlayStation.
Mhm.
Was that good?
Trying to
God,
think
I
of.
never played it. Was it good or
Mm,
bad?
it
I haven't
was
played either,
it
so.
it was all right for a movie to game aspect. It was pretty basic.
Yeah.
And then, but wasn't I'm sure there was something about Lego Star Wars that got delayed. The last one, the Skywalker Saga, didn't they get delayed and have some issues?
Well, if we look
Yeah, I
at
think
our
so.
if we look at our trusty Wikipedia page, Lego Star Wars had one more released in 2011 with the Clone Wars, and then it took a 12-year hiatus until last year when the full entire saga was released. So there had to have been some sort of delay, or they just,
Mm.
were waiting for all of the sequels to be released.
Oh no, they made Lego uh Force Awakens.
Oh, that's true.
Hmm.
Sorry, that's my bad. I should have known that.
Should have done more research.
I should have. That's on me.
Yep. All
That's
right, Leigh, you got the golden ticket. You can make any property into a Lego video game. What are you picking? Anything, TV show, movie, whatever you can think of.
I feel like I feel like Fast and Furious would be really good as a Lego game.
That'd
Just to
be
be a mix
really
of
Oh,
both
good.
action
and
and
do it
racing.
do it like the Lego Racer where you can like build your own car.
Oh,
Yeah.
That would
And
be tight.
you could just be just absurd as the movies.
Yep.
They
yeah,
explode and everything.
and honestly, I think it'd be a little bit better than the movies. Hot take, I know, but I think that's a really good idea, Leigh. Fuck.
Bring it up
That'd
to
be
them,
my
Leigh.
first
Bring it
pick.
up, bring it up to
Even
the
though
higher ups.
Bring it up to TT Games.
yeah.
I'm sure they'd appreciate it.
All right, Connor, what about
Well, you
you?
gotta do
You
something
got the
now
golden
because
ticket.
Oh my gosh. Golden ticket for I mean Stranger Things might be good.
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
I either that or I'm trying to think of like another action packed like TV show or movie. Um mm, what would be good? I'm trying to think of like a series.
While you're thinking, I'll tell you mine.
What's yours?
I got a nostalgia and I got a little bit more of a modern one. Nostalgia would be Lego Power Rangers.
Yes.
And
Hell
like
yeah,
you
dude.
could make your own like Power Ranger. So like you could have like where you go through the world and like you can collect all the different types of helmets. So like the dinosaur helmet from that era and like
Mm,
the really old school one from way back when. Because I think that like the Power Rangers would be a fun property as Lego because they could be
yeah,
yeah,
very comedic with it.
definitely.
And then the
yeah,
more modern one for me would be
100%.
Lego Deadpool because you could have a
Yes,
lot of fun with Lego Deadpool.
Yeah.
yes,
Would you
and
like make
not
X-Men with
PG.
Deadpool?
Yeah, not
Yeah,
PG,
yeah,
not
definitely.
PG.
Not PG. No, no.
Yeah,
Because
Make it
Deadpool
M.
already has
no,
his own game. Like he has Deadpool the video game, which
which
is
is
a very
excellent.
fun game. But I think that in Lego
Yeah,
form, you could do so much more humor with it.
yes.
Yeah, and so those would be kind of
And the
my
first
two.
5 minutes to be like,
Hmm. And like he would,
Yeah,
I
I
I
feel
was just
like
saying, even the first 5 minutes.
yep, he's just like this, just with his hands the whole time. But I feel like Deadpool would have to talk though. That's the problem. I don't think like I mean they could do
Yeah.
silent humor with it, but like Deadpool's known for breaking the fourth wall,
well
and so you
they
kind of
talk
have
now,
to.
Ty. They
Yeah,
talk
I know they
now.
do now, but I'm saying like I think it works better with him talking
You think
versus what
yeah,
we
yeah,
know.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think would you include it like as an X-Men and have that as like one of the few levels or just Deadpool on its own?
I would do kind of like Deadpool, like
Mm,
his like movie progression essentially. So like doing the first
mm.
Deadpool movie, and then eventually you could try to do go through that progression.
Okay.
Well, that could actually be really good because with the third one being, the multiverse, blah blah blah, you could do anything with that in Lego.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It'd work perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Listen,
so.
I'm gonna bring it up to Lego. I'll take my royalties.
Oh,
Yeah.
I also did think of one more that's more recent, and it would be Lego John Wick.
Lego John Wick.
Oh yes.
That
I
would
mean,
be cool.
you gotta make it rated M, and I don't know if Lego or TT Games is gonna go for it, but I think it'd be, I don't know, just I was thinking more action like you were thinking, Leigh, with like Fast and Furious, and I think yeah, either John Wick or Stranger Things is
John,
my pick.
Mhm. That's a
I think
good
John
one.
Wick would be nuts because you
It
could
would be
do
absolutely nuts.
different worlds, different weapons,
Yeah,
you know, and just mowing down bricks.
exactly. Exactly. You don't even have to like make it M. You could probably make it T. You don't have to have the cursing. That's it.
I would also
Yeah.
love for there to be a like Lego Cartoon Network game, like as a universe. So where like you play like the universe where like
OG Cartoon
all their
Network.
well OG and like a mixture of OG and modern. You know what I mean? So it kind of caters to both sides. And so it's like you have like Double
Mm.
D from Ed, Ed and Eddie meets like the main character from one of the modern shows. And like it's all their universes are getting pulled together. So it's like a fusion of everybody's worlds. And their villains or whatever are all, going through each other's worlds and doing all that. And you get to pick from like, you go and save the Lego characters. And then once you save that character, you get to play as them. I think that would be
Mhm.
super fun to do, especially
Yeah.
with like Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, that type of deal works really well with them.
Yeah.
That would look good. Yeah. All
Mhm.
together. I think what else?
Because I'm thinking like you have the Lego cul-de-sac from Ed, Ed and Eddie. You could do Dexter's Lab,
Yeah.
That'd be fun. Powerpuff Girls.
or like Lego Boomerang, where like the really old school cartoons.
Oh my gosh. So you're
Ooh.
talking like Flintstones?
Yeah, like Flintstones, Jetsons.
I mean, you could do a
You
lot
would
with
buy
it.
that in a heartbeat.
Oh, 100%. You kidding me?
You would buy that in a
All
heartbeat.
the nostalgia freaks would go nuts over it. You have Fred
Mm.
Flintstone fighting alongside Shaggy. Yeah, they're gonna go for that.
Ultra Instinct Shaggy.
Yep. I think they did that in
Um,
Dimensions though. I think they have um who is it? That Shaggy from Scooby Doo, and I think they have the Simpsons.
they do. Does
Yeah.
that blow up?
Mm.
Simpsons Lego.
What about Lego Family Guy
What about
video game?
I don't
done?
even know what you do for that.
I mean, there's a Family Guy video game, so
Well,
essentially you could just do that type of story for it. But Leigh, I feel like you got one.
and that wasn't too bad either. The Family Guy, I can't remember the last name. Into the something verse. That wasn't
Yeah,
actually too bad.
That's a pretty good game.
I know. Yeah, I was actually trying to look for it the other day to replay it. And I was like, oh, Transformers.
Oh wow,
Yes, that's a good one.
I feel like
how
you
has
could do
that
a
not
lot of
been a Lego
unique.
game? How has that not been a Lego game? There's a potential for so many properties.
There definitely is.
There's so like even like I would be interested to see if Nintendo would be on board for like a Lego Mario. You know what I mean? Like a Lego Mario adventure,
They might be able
Surely.
to. I mean,
like a Mario 64, but Lego. But I mean, 64 graphic already looks like Lego. But
well, I'm trying to think like if they've ever done
Already.
yeah,
if they've ever
it's all
done
grainy and
a
blocks anyway. You just
Mm.
pull Mario 64, give it a coat of paint, put some Lego studs on top, and get that done in
Same,
15
same.
minutes.
Yeah. Um,
I'm just kind of
like
like
there's Lego
racking my
Mario
brain.
toys.
Mm-hmm.
Heaps so yeah, it wouldn't be out of the realm.
Mm-hmm. I think eventually they're
But
gonna
yeah, I
do
feel like
Lego Barbie. I think that's gonna become a thing.
it might, but Barbie's already like a
yeah.
toy brand, so I don't.
Yeah, but like
and it's
the
Mattel too.
collaboration. I'm
But it's
saying the
also Mattel
collaboration
too.
though.
That'd become like a what's it called, a monopoly. I don't think that's good for anyone. Eventually, it's just all toys are going to be Mattel or Lego, and I don't know. I feel like
Isn't
just
that already
real world
happening?
wise. I mean,
Yeah, well, we've got
I
the
don't
Mattel
know.
universe.
Mattel
So
Universe. I like that. That would be cool.
Yeah, so Barbie, all the other toys coming in.
Mhm.
yeah, but I don't. know if they would do that just because again they're separate like companies, and I don't know if they'd want to step on each other's toes. But that'd be
That's
crazy
true.
though.
Mhm. What about Lego Top Gun?
Like
Okay.
Top Gun.
Okay. I could get on board with that. I could get on board with Lego Top Gun.
And you can build fighter jets, different
Hmm.
styles of fighter jets.
That would be sick. And then you could have like subtle references to like other games and stuff or other, like older shows. So you could have like a fighter pilot from or a fighter plane from different older movies that could just kind of make an Easter
Or
egg
like
reference.
build a jet from SWAT cats.
Yeah. Like, you know how when you would collect, were they red bricks or something that you would collect? And they would go onto this like museum kind of place and it would kind of build, like a part. I think it's Star Wars was like it was like this canister and it had red and
Yeah, it
green lights on
was.
it. I can't
Yeah,
think of what they're called, but like you
they're
would collect
kits.
those or kits. Yeah.
They're
And it
kits. I
would
think they're
build
called.
like Darth Vader's, TIE fighter
Yeah,
and you
or
could
Darth
see it in
Maul's
like
in
the
his
museum
ship.
form and it has like a description. You could do that with the jet fighters. Like you could use the jet, but it's also in the museum. It does like a description of like, oh, this movie came out and blah 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 blah. That would
That's
be
right.
really
Yeah, the
cool.
museum.
Yeah, or something like that. That's also what I appreciate about the Lego games, the replayability in that, because it made you discover the level more and it made you revisit with different characters. So like you would
Mm.
go and do like, the level would have like Luke Skywalker and R2D2. Those are the two main characters. But there's a place where you could take like an Ewok and have him crawl through, or one of the small characters. They crawl through this little thing. You collect a brick here, takes you to another part of the map where you do like a bonus fight. I kind of liked that with Lego. That's what I appreciated. But what about you, Lee? What did you
You
like
had to go
appreciate about
back.
the Lego games?
That was actually a really good point. Just the creativity of it all, the fact that you, even though you've gone and completed the game, got to the credits, you still had to go back because you didn't have the right character unlocked to go back. So you still need to go get them. So there was a big reason for replayability. It wasn't you got the story and you were done. And obviously, I also did like how, when you did have just the bricks and just did the fast motion of building whatever
Mm-hmm.
you need to, like a wall or a TIE fighter or anything like that. And another one I actually forgot to mention that I really enjoyed was the Lego Jurassic World. I
Oh
loved
yeah.
the fact you could do all four films.
Hmm. I,
That was
I
another.
I did not like. I mentioned it, but I completely forgot it's a Lego. Like it's actually a Lego game.
Hmm. Oh,
What about you,
that
Con?
one I
What?
forgot about too.
Yeah. What about you, Connor? What do you appreciate about the Lego games?
Just how they told the story in a fun and simplified way that was that paid homage to the movie, but also like put their own, silly spin on it. I like that. I
Hmm.
think that's, it's a good way to both parody something, but also pay homage to something as well. So I really like that whenever I played them.
Do you guys think that would you prefer still not to have voice, or do you think they're better with the voice now?
Because I've barely played them with the voice, the only way I really know it is without. So, I mean, I would play it without. And what I heard about the Skywalker saga is you can actually make a mumble voice a thing. So you don't even have to play it with the actual voices. You could do it without, which I think is a cool touch and pays homage
That's
to the
Hmm.
cool.
to what, we grew up with.
I think for me, it depends on the property because I think there are properties I can get away with it, but there's other properties that like if you really don't know the story and what's going on, it's gonna be hard to follow. You'll get it, but like if you were to have somebody sit down and play through the complete saga and ask them like, "Hey, do you know what this whole film is about?" I think they could get a decent amount of it. I don't think they would be able to get the full story, but I think that they would get a decent chunk of it. Whereas like if there's a little bit of narration, if there's a little bit of like the characters speaking, and dialogue and that kind of thing, I think it's a little easier to follow story wise, but I think there's a good balance in between. Like I would want there to be just enough to where you still have that kind of silent comedic humor, but there's still enough that it's telling you the story.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
What about you, Lee?
Uh, I think I liked it without the voice. because I feel
Mm.
like I agree. Like I feel it had that creativity about it, and it was more creative on how they were trying to convey the story.
Mm.
Like as you said earlier, like they had
Yeah.
to use the photo, like pointing,
Hmm.
like I'm your father. I think it was more
Yeah,
creative.
definitely.
But I did know that the Skywalker one had the mumble thing, so I would probably turn on the mumble straight away. And another one I actually just figured is I'd love Lego Ghostbusters.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Yeah, that would be very fun.
And they've already done like stuff before. I think they had the whatever it's called, the car that they have. I think they had like a giant one as a uh set too. So it's not out of the
Yeah,
realm of
the Echo.
possibility either. Yeah, the Echo. That's what it's called. I knew it was started with the E. I was gonna say ectoplasm, but I knew that was wrong.
Close.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a lot of like I didn't realize how many Lego games there were. Like not even just
Yeah.
like properties that are Lego games, but like the original Lego games. I didn't realize there were this many.
There's a lot.
Yeah. Like I
And
didn't
did
know they basically came out with Lego FIFA in 2002. It's called Football Mania.
huh. Oh. And
I
was
don't
it
know.
Lego Worlds their attempt at Minecraft,
Mhm.
I believe so.
Yeah, I think so.
which was average reviews?
Yeah. Like they have a lot of different stuff. There was a lot of big ideas for this. Like I remember as a kid seeing there was a Lego game called Lego Universe. It was a multiplayer online game. It was like a 2-year run. It was from like 2010 to 2012, I think. And it basically was like a online role playing game for Lego. And you could choose, you could be from like the Knights dimension, you could be from the futuristic dimension, you could be from the ninja. Like you could pick kind of your character, and then you go through worlds and do a bunch of missions. And I think it just didn't quite catch a big crowd, so I think it got
Mm.
discontinued in like right in the beginning of 2012. But I remember like seeing commercials online for it, or like ads online for it, and I remember playing it a little bit. I didn't play it very much. I played it for like maybe like 4 or 5 days, where I would go on for like 1 or 2 hours and go through the universe and do their little missions and stuff. And it was cool because like you would collect stuff, and after you would go through and battle, you would like collect certain items, and then you could wear them, representing like, oh, I did this quest or whatever. So
Mm. God, I didn't know that.
mm-hmm.
God, I'm looking at some of these old titles. I'm like, shit, I remember that. I remember
Mm-hmm.
that.
I will say another Lego property for me doesn't get a lot of love. Lego City Undercover.
Yeah, Lego City
Yeah.
was kind of their main like I
They
would
made a
say
sequel to
like
that.
normal. Like if you didn't care about like Star Wars, Indiana Jones, now
Mm.
Avatar, all that, you could just do Lego City and build, a police station or a fire station
Mm-hmm.
or just like a building.
Lego City
Yeah.
Undercover was basically the story of you being a cop and doing a bunch of stuff, but it's literally just Lego GTA.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
could literally just go and essentially play Lego GTA, which was Lego City Undercover, which I think is really cool.
Pretty much.
Mm.
Which, God, a side point. I feel like every day I open up, there's something new leaked about Grand Theft Auto 6. I'm like, I don't even want to
Mm.
look at anything anymore until I see something physical. I'm
Yep.
like, oh,
All
yeah.
right.
Like,
I think we need to get into our top threes. I think we need to
Definitely.
talk about our top 3 games of all time. So I want to end it with Leigh. So Connor, you'll go first. I'll go, then Leigh. That way we get to our final game. Leigh will say what his favorite Lego game is of all time. We'll go about that route. So it's a tough choice. I'll say that. This is going to be pretty hard, at least for me,
Yeah.
mm,
because I played a decent amount of these games. So
See, I didn't. So my number three will be Lego Harry Potter, and we'll go years 1 to 4. I was a big Harry Potter guy growing up, and watched all the movies, saw most of them in theaters, when I was old enough to.
mm,
You know, I wasn't, like a 4-year-old going to see them. Because who wants like a 4-year-old running around?
mm.
But I had the Legos too as a kid. I had a couple sets as a kid, and I just really enjoyed it. I thought the gameplay was good. The storytelling was good in it. It was still funny. and I think they introduced like how to do the magic well too. So yeah, that's my number 3. I barely played it. Like it's like a recollection rather than owned it, went hard in it. But I played
Yeah.
it a couple times and I
How would
definitely
you
enjoyed it.
how would you say in comparison, like between the storytelling in the Lego game versus the movie, how would you say it like kind of goes, at least for you in your opinion?
Pretty well. I mean, it's fast paced, obviously, because you only do like 6 levels or so. But
Mm.
yeah, it was really good. You kind of get, the story of, in the first one, going through. I believe you go, at the very end of the movie. This is what I can remember. Going through, uh, all the different, what's it called? I guess tests to get to Voldemort and Coral.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert for that 20-year-old movie, but yeah.
Oh, you
Going
ruined
Thanks a
through,
lot, Connor.
yeah,
I haven't seen it.
it's all good. Going through the chess scene, going through the mandrakes, and then I think there's one more too. But yeah, fun game. Yeah, enjoyed it, but barely remember it too.
Leigh, did
Gotta
you play
preface
that one?
No, I missed the Harry Potter ones.
I did too.
But would you want to see a remaster one like the Skywalker Saga, like all 7 and Fantastic Beasts?
I to be honest, I haven't seen the Fantastic Beasts movie. I wanted to see the first one,
Connor.
and then I wanted to see the first one because it looked fun, but after hearing the negative press of the second and third one and hearing just how god awful they are, honestly, if they just combine the all the original 7 movies together, or 8 movies if you count part 1 and 2, combine those together and make that one game, I think that'd be great. If I'm being honest.
And surely that would have to be on their cards after Skywalker's done.
I think so. I definitely think it would be.
Yeah.
Especially because, like you said, Star Wars is essentially done.
All right. That leaves my
number
number
3.
3.
Or
My
honorable mention first, if you want.
I don't have, actually, this might be the first time I don't have an honorable mention. This might be. I don't know.
Oh my god.
I don't know. I have to keep looking through, but my number 3 is the Bionicle game.
Oh.
So I want to say very similar to Fable, if you remember that one.
Yeah.
Very similar, kind of that top-down perspective. And I liked that. I mean, every game back then had its flaws, but I liked the combat style overall because you got rewarded for understanding the combo system. So you could kill enemies significantly faster if you knew how to combo rather than just spamming hitting. You actually had to time your combos in a certain way to like actually do certain moves. The platforming in the game was really nice for the time. It was a very it was slower paced, but you had, double jumps. You had the ability to kind of run around and do your thing. And I think you started off as the red character, and then you could unlock other characters as you continued through, but they basically all kind of played the same way, just had different attack animations and stuff. But I liked it just because it was so different. And I also liked that it kind of had in the Zelda game, the Ganondorf, like where he shoots the fireball at you and you deflect it back. Bionicle had that in the game, but with pretty much all of the enemies. Like if any enemy shot something at you, you could do that and reflect it back to them, but you had to do it with perfect timing.
Yeah.
And so there was a lot of technique to the game, and you had to kind of balance offense and defense, which I really appreciated. Now I appreciate it a lot more now. Back then it was a little more frustrating because I just wanted to rush through and kill things. But for me, I loved that it was so different from Lego games. It was its own unique thing, its own unique story. The characters had a lot of personality. And I mean, they just looked strange, and I loved that. I loved how weird it was. So that
I wish I would
mine.
have played that, man. I wish I would have played that because I love Bionicles, and I feel like that's such a different entry into the Lego franchise
World
of games than what we've played before, and what we'll be mentioning soon on.
And I've
2003.
Yeah, that's my number three just for nostalgic purposes. Like I just remember I bought that game because I was like, yeah, I'm the cool kid. I got Bionicle. I need to play the Bionicle game. That's how I'll get even cooler. It's like play Bionicle the video game and have Bionicles. I'll be the coolest kid in school.
Hell yeah.
Note to the
Oh,
fans
shit.
out there that did not happen. I was not the coolest kid in school playing Bionicle. So
Spoil it.
yeah, spoiler alert to those out there wondering about my school life. But all right, Leigh, number three for you, man.
Number three for me would have to be would have to be Marvel's Avengers. It would have to be a third one because
Okay.
Nice.
I was so excited when I saw the Lego version came out and the massive collection. Because when that came out, obviously the last one game it was like Marvel Ultimate Alliance was the last one I can remember where you could actually play as all
Mhm.
the Marvel characters,
Mhm.
which again showing my age,
Mhm.
our ages. So I was really stoked for that when that came out, and when you could play as everybody, and the story was good, and that was obviously right at the height with I think it was Avengers 2. Yeah, 2016. With Avengers 2 had come out. So yeah, and there's nothing like playing as Iron Man as a Lego and just
Mhm.
or Deadpool.
Yeah, that
Oh, so
is.
Deadpool was in that one?
Yeah, Deadpool was in a Lego game, but I think he
Okay.
deserves his own game. That's just me. Though.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And I'm pretty sure he also I think he made a comment. He's like, "Well, why we all look like this?"
Oh,
That's a
Uh,
good pick though, because I've seen playthroughs of it. I haven't actually played it myself, but I think it would hit a nostalgic bone. Because I mean, I'm assuming there's voice acting in it because Deadpool talks and stuff. But at least for me, it would hit in a nostalgic place because it's like, man, all the superheroes I watched growing up are all in the same game and it's Lego. Like,
And you could even with the Hulk, like you picked him, it would just be like Banner, and then you could transform
oh,
into the
really?
Hulk.
that's cool.
That's awesome.
Oh no, I do.
Uh,
I think I remember seeing.
you could transform up,
It. Mm,
um, and even like Ant-Man was in it, so it had all the unique abilities for all the characters.
mm.
Obviously, one of the most useless was Nick Fury, just with a gun.
Oh yeah. Like
Yeah,
That's a
Kind of like how Han
yeah,
Solo was in Lego Star Wars. Like he had a gun.
that was it.
Yeah, you have everybody's got one gun character in their
Yeah.
Lego game, or like
yeah.
that character. It's like, yeah, this is the one thing he can do.
Mm. I'll really bring you into a fight.
Yep. All right, Connor.
Number two for me is Indiana Jones. That's one that I really did play a lot of, and I played it on the Wii, and I mean, even the first level is the of the game is, the Raiders of the Lost Ark when you're going through the temple to get the
Mhm.
gold statue, but then also running away from the boulder. And I think it's just, that it set a good tone that you actually feel like you're living that out, playing that out in Lego form. And, it was also one without voice acting too. So you get the pictures, you get the, what's the word? Over exaggerated movements and all that. And I just, as someone who liked Indiana Jones, it's a really fun way to both, remember the movies but also play as well. So I highly suggest it too. And yeah.
Connor, you and I
Ah,
have the same number two.
yeah.
Really?
Yep. Mine
Are
was
you,
going to be
are,
Lego Indiana Jones as well. So
What were you
are
gonna
you
say,
guys
Lee?
excited for the new? You guys excited for the new one?
The movie?
yeah, the
No,
movie.
the game.
There's another game coming out?
Yeah, there's a brand new game in development by oh same people who made Starfield.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah, they're making a brand new one.
Wait, a Lego game or just an Indiana Jones game?
Sorry, just an Indiana Jones game.
Oh, okay. I was
Ew.
going to say there's another
Sorry.
Lego Indiana Jones game. I was about to be
Nah.
hyped.
Sorry,
I
just
wonder,
Indiana Jones.
is it gonna be like an Uncharted sort of deal? Because that'd be fun. I think if
Or
they
like
did an
Tomb Raider.
Indiana Jones, yeah, like a Tomb Raider Uncharted, I think if they did that Indiana Jones style, I think that'd be really good.
Mm,
Well, well, they just showed the teaser like a year ago, and there's nothing
yeah.
else been about it.
Boo.
The only thing that's been sucking now is obviously with the purchase. Now it's become Xbox fully Xbox exclusive now.
Hmm.
Mm.
I'm like, shit.
Sucks. But
Yeah.
no, but definitely like I mean, I think I agree that like just an Indiana Jones game in that style of Uncharted or even Tomb Raider for that matter would be super fun, super cool. But
Hmm.
talking about the Lego version, the Lego
Come back.
version for me is something that I remember. Again, I picked that game out because I liked Indiana Jones and I remember seeing the cover and I'm like, yeah, I got to play this. And it was one of the few games that I enjoyed playing on my own because I
Hmm.
feel like Lego Star Wars or Lego Batman or any of the other games were kind of more co-op oriented.
Yeah,
Need a
they were.
friend.
Yeah. Whereas like for me, I feel like Lego Indiana Jones, you it was kind of the opposite. It's like you can play it co-op, but you can also progress through the story in a single player format, which I really appreciated. And I also loved that like you could just be all the classic characters, but like you could play as Indiana Jones. Who didn't want to be in like
Exactly.
if you were playing with somebody, you were both fighting over who was going to be Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
So but I also like that I forget what part of the game it is, but there's a point where like Indiana Jones is going through like the pit where all the snakes are. And if you have him try to go across, he does this like
Yeah.
whimper and like runs
Yeah.
away. And it like it forces you to change to a different character. So it's like,
That's
hey,
cool.
you can't do this. You need to use another character. So I thought that was
And
super cool.
with Han Solo as a bonus playable character as well.
Yes.
That's awesome. I like that they did that too.
Mhm. I am planning to play the second game because I have the ability to, and I just kind of want to
Ooh.
experience the second game.
Do it.
Yep. So I definitely want to do that. It'll be a lot of fun. But
2009.
yep, 2009, way back when.
Yeah.
I want to play it on the Nintendo DS though. Play with a touchscreen. No, I'm kidding. I'm not doing that.
uh
No, but I do have an honorable mention. I lied.
oh, you bastard.
My honorable mention would be Lego Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be mine. That would be just like it didn't make the list, but I definitely remember playing that game
Hmm.
and just having a good time. It was one of those that I think I got it from like somebody had it at a garage sale, and I bought it for like $5.
What a
And
bargain.
yeah, and I played through it, and I was like, man, this is a great Lego game. Like I wish I would have played this sooner.
Hmm.
And so after that, resold the game, did all that stuff. But I played it and I actually thoroughly enjoyed it. And I think it's one of those that like doesn't get a lot of love.
Hmm.
But I think that's another one. If you continued the movie series, that it would be
Yeah.
great. And I think people would really enjoy it.
Hmm. I agree. That'd probably be fun.
All right, Leigh, number 2.
Yep. Number 2.
Number
Leigh.
2 Lego game for Leigh.
Mine would be Jurassic World because I'm a massive Jurassic Park fan.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
And they kept in all the themes too. So like when the helicopters coming to the land, it's just obviously all Lego and still get all that experience. That'd be my second pick. Because I was just a big fan. I was happy to go play through all 4 games.
Yeah, and who didn't want to drive the
All 4 movies.
little what was that little
The
little
Jeep.
ball? Yeah. I was gonna say the little ball thing that you go in. Can't you drive that in the game?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a vehicle that you can play.
Yeah. Who doesn't want to drive one of those?
I
No.
played it for like a minute in, I think it was like a Target out here. Like I played it for a quick second. It was like whenever out here in America at like our Targets, we have like
Kiosk.
like a video game section, and sometimes they'll have like a game that you could play that's like there that they're promoting, and that was one of them. And I remember playing it for like a few, and I thought it was pretty fun.
That was
Playing in
back
the
in our
ball.
day.
Yeah,
Back in the
guys, you don't
day.
see them anymore.
No, not too much.
You do see far and few though. It's far and few, but you do see some. Because the Nintendo Switch one, I mean, it's in Target, it's in GameStop. Like Nintendo Switch is still doing kiosk, which is
Oh
crazy to
shit.
me. I've only ever seen one PlayStation kiosk, and that was placed. It was a PlayStation 4 kiosk, and then
Really?
I
That's
saw,
changing.
and then I saw one Xbox Series X kiosk or something like that.
Uh,
But
Mhm.
I, I haven't seen him in ages.
yeah, it's a huge
Yeah,
collectible item now. Like people
yeah.
buy and sell these kiosks. Like they have someone. I saw some dude on not eBay. Was it Craigslist or eBay or something? He was selling the McDonald's ones.
Oh shit.
Yeah, like he had the McDonald's where it had like, the Nintendo 64 where it had like three Nintendo 64s in it and stuff. It was hollow, but he's like, I have all the pieces and like, I have the ability to like pull everything out. But I was like, man, that's so cool. Because I remember doing those too.
That's a memory from memory bank.
Way back when in our day, kids, we could
Yeah.
go play video games
Whoa.
at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could. Oh,
All right,
And
Connor. This
and
is
it
it,
looked
man.
and it looked more McDonald's too. Not
yeah.
now where
Yeah,
it's like a
yeah.
restaurant.
Now they look all corporate. I hate the new look McDonald's. That's for our other podcast called Restaurants That Went to Shit. Um, but number one for me, I mean, it's
Restaurants that went to shit.
yeah, I didn't the
What about
naming
What
was
about restaurants that make you shit?
no, that's
Oh,
that's another
Chipotle.
podcast that I'm coming up with, but
Connor, you got all the sticky notes with all your different podcast
yeah,
ideas,
exactly.
like we have with our movie to video game franchises.
Yes. But number one, I mean, it's no surprise to anyone. And I think it's going to be all of our number ones, if I'm being honest. It's
Lego Island.
yeah, you guessed it. You
Yeah,
got it.
yeah.
Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga. It's just
Mm.
it was. I mean, it was the culmination of. I had all two games too. I had the original series, the number two with the original movies. I had the first one, and then I did get the one that had all six movies at the time out. And I mean, it just it felt like I was in Star Wars, and it felt like what I would do with my Legos. Pretend to like fight with each other and go through the stories and all that. So it just I played it with my brother too on the Wii, and it was just so much fun. And sometimes I wish I could go back to those times because it was a more simpler time and it was a lot of fun.
No, it's a great game. It's kind of like what the original Lego Star Wars game is kind of what kicked off, I think, the whole genre of those types of games. But
Mhm.
I think Complete Saga just kind of tied it up in a bow. Just kind of put everything together and it's like, yeah, here's everything instead of you having to go and buy the two separate games.
Chef's kiss.
All right.
I was
What you got, Leigh?
No, I was gonna say I was just trying to think like that was a simpler time. And you could just grind it as much as you wanted without
Mhm.
having to have bills and a job.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I mean, the only money I was earning was Lego, what's it called? It's Lego bits or whatever, the studs in the game.
Mm, that's
But
right.
yeah,
It's a good choice. That's a very good choice. Well,
I mean, Ty, what's yours?
mine's got to be
Same.
Lego. Mine's Lego chess. No, I'm
Oh,
kidding.
yeah.
No,
Oh,
not Lego
yeah.
chess. No, from 1998. Was playing it at
It
2
was-
years.
Oh,
That's how I
God.
became a chess savant.
Ty, I could
thought you were
kick your ass in chess. Don't even fucking.
Dude, a monkey could kick my ass in chess.
I know.
I thought you were gonna say Lego Rock Band. I thought that would have been your favorite.
Yeah, the one on the DS where you don't use any actual instruments. It's just a rhythm game.
Didn't they
Yeah.
have like a plugin for that though that you could put if
That
you,
was
I think
Guitar Hero.
Okay,
That was just
that's
Guitar
my bad.
Hero.
Whoops. Because I remember that.
Come
like,
on, Connor.
It was no,
Yeah.
but it was where the Game Boy port was on the original DS or the DS Lite, and you plugged it in, and you like played it like it was the stupidest thing ever. You looked like a fucking idiot if you had that. No
You don't
offense
have
to
to
the people
talk
who
about
did
yourself
have
like
that.
that.
That's
Hey,
rough.
I would if I had it, I would openly admit to being an idiot having that, but I was not an idiot who had that.
All right. I would have to agree that Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga would be my number one. However, I think it's kind of an unfair number one because it's two games in one. And if I'm
But
picking,
it's not.
I'm saying if I'm
Mm.
picking between the two games because they released before, I would probably pick the very first one. If I'm having to pick between the two, but Complete
That
Saga would be my number one because it's all just tied up together.
that started all.
Yeah. I
Kick
mean, it
off.
started the whole genre. It had great storytelling. There was a lot of comedic value in it. And it just like, I remember sitting down and getting home from school and playing it with, my best friends. We'd just sit there. We'd have soda. We'd have Cheetos, all that good stuff. Just sitting on the couch, just playing through Lego Star Wars and replaying it. Like we would literally
Mm.
complete the game, get to the credits, and then we would just want to play through it again. So we'd make a completely new save file and play through the entire game again just because it was fun.
It has pretty good replayability, I gotta say. Like
Mhm.
whenever I would play it, I would always replay it too.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Complete
Same.
Saga would probably be it is my number one. But if I'm picking between the two games, it would be the first one.
Which
Don't
even
overcomplicate
when
it.
no,
I have
but
to,
even-
Connor. That's my job on this podcast. It's what some of the people are thinking.
Okay.
You gotta make it more complicated.
Yeah.
Not to mention, like no one would think at the time that Lego and Star Wars would blow up as much as it did, of a combination of two things coming together.
Mm.
Well, in video game form, yes, I agree with you. But I think Lego Star Wars was still, I think even at that time, was still their best selling property. It's their best selling property to this date still.
Mm.
I believe I think I'm right on that. But even back then, it was its best selling property because Star Wars nerds like me eat that shit up.
You're telling me Lego Rock Band didn't sell as good as Lego Star Wars?
I'm willing to bet Lego Rock Band barely broke 1 million in sales. I'm gonna look that up right now,
Yeah.
but I'm willing to bet it barely broke 1 million in sales.
Yeah.
Watch it break like 1,000,001.
It'd
No.
No, that's
Something
what
like
I'm
that.
betting though. That's what I'm betting.
Yeah. And then you look at the last Star Wars game. 7 out of 10, 4 stars, 8 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 5 stars, 4 stars. All the reviews for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it goes without saying that it's not a game that offends. So I don't see why people would rate it so low. It obviously deserves like a 7 out of 10 at the very least.
Nintendo's official magazine gave it 82% out of 100. I'm kind of looking just at all the. Xbox gave it an 85%. PlayStation gave it a 4 out of 5.
Again, that's a 80.
Yep.
So yeah, it's what's the word? It's
Good.
no. I'm trying. It's well, yes, good, but like it's
It's what's that word? Good.
No,
Good.
Good.
It doesn't harm anything, It's just there. Oh, but
Oh man.
of Lego Rock Band.
What did Lego Rock
What was
Band
that?
sell, Connor?
I have the answer. I don't want you guys better not fucking look it up. Leigh, I want you to give your guess first. How many units were sold?
Because you were so excited. Now I'm not too sure. I'll go just 900,000.
Okay. Ty?
I want to say it hit because it's Rock Band. I feel like it hit 1 million because it's rock. Like people knew Rock Band at that time, and it's kind of it's a niche thing, but it also it's a new rock band.
Okay.
think
So
it's
your
1 million.
answer's 1 million?
Yeah.
600,000. It didn't even break 1 mil.
Oh,
That
had
was
high
not a good
hopes.
selling game.
Eh,
That was not a
nah.
good selling game.
Hey.
Rock Band was always Guitar Hero 2.0.
Mhm.
True.
I will
hot
say,
take, but
I will say, which console do you think Metacritic had the highest score on?
well,
There's-
I have it up, so I can't.
Leigh, what do you think? It's Xbox 360, Wii, PlayStation 3, or Nintendo DS?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nintendo DS had the highest, and you didn't even use the instruments. You
Oh
literally
my
just
God.
tapped buttons.
That's so dumb.
Oh, that's funny though.
Oh,
We got really off track. I forgot what we were doing.
I think we're just about to close out. I mean, we all gave our number ones, but
well, Leigh's got to give his number one. We're not sure. He might say like, Lego Dimensions or Lego Worlds.
Leigh, do you want to add any more onto Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga?
Well, his might be Lego Builder's Journey. We don't know that.
No, mine was drone races.
Drone racers, not drone. Somebody made a typo for that Lego game, and they're like,
Yeah. It'll be fine. Print it.
Yeah. But...
Lego Alpha Team.
Yep.
Oh my god.
On the Game Boy.
Yeah.
With the Game Boy 8-bit music that just hurt your ears.
Yeah.
Didn't matter how loud the volume was. It was just like blood gushingly bad.
True. No, my number one's just like the rest of you guys. That Complete Saga was just replayability. The whole original 6 films, and pretty much set the bar for every Lego game you play after that. If it didn't hit, it was better or worse. That was the bar.
Yeah, I think till this day, it's still the bar for those types of games. But well, thank you, Leigh, for coming on, dude. We appreciate you for coming on to our podcast. We love being on yours. We're appreciative for you being on ours. But sorry, Charles couldn't make it, of course. But
we love you, Charles.
We do. But now's the time for you to plug your shit, Leigh. Like, be as shameless as you want.
Where do people find you?
You can find me on Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Grindr, Tinder, whatever you need to.
Grindr?
Look, there's a demand for it. I don't know why, but there's a demand on it. So,
hey, you know what? We love a good ally. So we appreciate that, man. We appreciate that.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun hanging out with you, Leigh, and talking all this stuff. We're going to be collaborating and hanging out more for sure. Please give him a follow on his YouTube channel. We want him to hit that 1K. We want him to just see him take off. And he gives great content too.
And that name, Leigh, if you could give it to us, then everyone can find you.
With the Lights Camera Rant, that's
Lights Camera Rant. All right, Lights Camera Rant podcast. Yeah. Perfect.
And look, guys, thank you so much for inviting me on. This has been a blast, and I can't wait to our next episode we do together because you guys, it's always a good time.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've been recording for like an hour and 15 or so, and it's felt like 20 minutes or something like that.
It's felt like 5 minutes.
So.
I know. I still can't believe it. Only feels like yesterday we recorded our episode in June.
I know.
It's been too long. It's too long.
Yeah.
We got our next collaboration though. We're ready. We're ready.
But thank you as always for listening to our show. We definitely appreciate everyone for listening. Please rate us on wherever you listen: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher,
Grindr.
if that's still there, Grindr. If you listen to us on Grindr and found us that way, we appreciate it.
Find us on Feet Wiki.
Oh God. But yeah, thank you so much for listening, and have a great day, and we'll catch you guys on the next episode.
See you guys.
See ya.